Good day, everyone. I'm Jan Alex Olicia from BSc 1-9 student. Today, I will present to you the concepts of cultural deviance theory and delinquent subculture theory. But before that, let me introduce to you some vocabulary words that we will encounter later as we go along with our discussion. First is culture. What do you mean by culture? Culture is a way of life of a group of people, the behaviors, beliefs, values, and symbols that they accept, generally without thinking about them, and that are passed along by communication and imitation from one generation to the next. It means that culture is a way of life of people with different beliefs, such as the difference of religions with different beliefs and the existence of gods, as well as culture with different human behavior. Culture is a communication. And next, what is deviance? Deviance, the study of deviance, is the basis for criminology in sociology, the study of crime and its effects on society. Deviance refers to the socially disapproved violations of, of important norms and expectations of society. Who is deviant differs from one culture to another. Deviance is simply in any violations of society's norms. Deviance can range from something minor, such as a traffic violation, to something major, such as murder. Now, let's proceed to the main topic, which is cultural deviance theory. And according to Siegel, year 2018, P581, cultural deviance theory is a branch of social structure theory that sees strain and social disorganizations together, resulting in a unique lower class culture that conflicts with conventional social norms. This states that crime is correlated strongly to the cultural values and norms prevalent in society. In other words, individuals may turn to crime not on account of any innate character traits, but because they are influenced by the place they live in, the people they are surrounded by, and the socio-economic conditions of their microenvironment. These three elements come together to form a unique subculture, influencing the individual and their chances to turn to crime. The theory was born out of the work of University of Chicago sociologists Clifford Shaw and Henry Mackay in 1930s. Shaw and Mackay were part of a larger theoretical project to understand social deviance and crime in the rapidly burgeoning immigrant neighborhoods in Chicago during this period. The theory Shaw and Mackay proposed came to be called social disorganization theory, as it attributes delinquency to the disorganizations of rupture of traditional societal norms by force such as immigration and poverty. But, according to Miller, a fixation of lower class youths with this focal concern lead to increased delinquency, and this is six focal concerns were: number one is trouble. Getting in trouble and staying out of trouble were major concerns of lower class youth. Youths are prone to delinquency, and commitment to focal concerns leads them to delinquency. They are concerned with breaking the rules and avoiding getting into trouble for it. And then second, toughness. Defined by a disregard for consequences, a contempt for a literary, artistic, and scholarly pursuits, including education, a pride in this place of unsentimentality and an objectification of women becomes a highly valued and desired attribute. Youths share a concern with showing orthodox, orthodox masculinity. Women Women had separate rules. Women were stay at home. In this traditionally view, men were expected to be strong and brave enough to work into condition. Lower class means have to constantly. And the third is smartness. Defined as a being manipulated and possessing cunning, was said to another prized attribute among juveniles in a lower class culture. Means ability to outbox or outwit someone, ability to fool and con someone, in slums practical in cunning in view over academia, has the time for middle class institution. Ability to think on your feet is a much more useful quality. Activities that are illegitimate for middle class values hustler, pimp, pickpocket, spectrum of behavior that reaches delinquency. And number 4 is excitement. This often leads to activities such as joining gangs or doing drugs. The restless search for thrills in working class. The highest premium is based on action, and thrill seeking in lives are without thrill as they have less money. Excitement is solved out in many ways. Acts of gambling, alcohol consumption, when excitement is added to toughness and trouble. The result can be mayhem, sexual harassment, arson, and street brawls. And number 5 is faith. Feeling disempowered, members of the lower classes may place a greater reliance of faith or lack them those of the middle classes. In here, they believe life is all about luck. For example, they were able to steal so they have money for food. Some people say that life is just luck, but I believe in the so-called karma. And the last is autonomy. Lower classes may display a contempt towards authority, seeing constitutions of state as exerting undue to control over their lives. Lower working class young may have a craving for a greater freedom and independence, and they are constrained. Disadvantaged poverty allows them to feel they are manipulating others. This makes them feel in control with their lives. And now, let us proceed to the next topic, which is delinquent subculture theory. And what is delinquent? According to Cambridge Dictionary, is a person usually young who behaves in a way that is illegal or not acceptable to most people. It only means that a young person who behaves badly, usually by committing crimes. And next, what is subculture? According to Cambridge Dictionary, is the way of life, customs, and ideas of a particular group of people within a society that are different from the rest of the society. It is a culture that was created by a smaller group within society, wherein these cultures were considered be deviant or to be contrasting to the culture of larger group of majority of population in this society. The person behind this theory is Albert Cohen. According to him, the union of young people into subculture is the result of adjustment and status problems and of their members caused by the inequality of existence in class society. These delinquent subcultures are characterized above all by their deviant values and morals, which enable to their members to gain prestige and recognition. And Cohen's adaptation to status frustration. And number one is corner boys. Make the best of bad situations. These types of boys engage in truancy, drug abuse, and different illegal acts just to kill. And the second is college boys. Strive to live up to middle class standards, wherein these types of boys strive to live up to middle class standards of embrace middle class value. However, regardless of how our days strive in attaining standard of middle class, they cannot fit their values and standards. And the last is delinquent boys form a subculture in which they can define status in ways that seem attainable. This only means that delinquent boys embrace belief that is directly opposition to middle class form. And these are the references. I believe punishment is not for revenge but to lessen crime and reform the criminal by Elizabeth Fry. Thank you for listening and God bless.